Imagine grieving your child, moving countries, and instead of therapy, you unlock a Forbidden Ghost DLC. Yeah, that's this movie. Two NPCs, white skinners from West, spotted in the Ohio part of India, trapped in a zero-aura food stall. They're definitely just farming clips for the Glazers back home, because no way they're eating there unless it's for the digital high score. Here we meet Maria. She dropped the ultimate "I'm pregnant" nuke, hearing that her boss, Michael's brain fried. He's out here asking if it's a real baby, or it's just gas after that suspicious idle speed run. Maria stared into his paranoid, bloodshot optics and dropped the lore. No gas, just the final boss of their secret secretary boss side quest. She really hit him with the 100% genuine product of our forbidden Riz. Goofy plot twist, he was happy rather than scared. Michael's dopamine levels spiked so hard he teleported to the beach to map out the lore. He's explained his goofy plan. He gonna ghost his wife by claiming he got lost in the Indian traffic, straight to the back rooms. Since his antique hustle is already centered in India, he's ready to build a new base. He even joked about a round 2 colonization Riz. Michael began his grand ascent by mocking a local girl's right to exist in his new kingdom. Maria, proving she's the perfect accomplice in this moral dumpster fire, suggested he ask if the girl had discovered soap yet. But plot twist. The local girl was actually a hidden boss from local comms. She got triggered and hit Maria with the cancelled curse, screaming, "No viral collab for you, cheating L-Rizzler." Her eyes went Vanta-black and started leaking oil like a rusted-out Honda. Absolute nightmare fuel cinema. Anyway, that little jump scared didn't stop him. Michael sent his wife some ChatGPT-generated AI slop to fake his disappearance, but then hit her with the ultimate cursed image. Him eating street food and leaking from the back at the same time. He ghosted her, married Maria in a liminal space circuit house, and spawned Lucy. Lucy had zero aura, so he rizzed Maria again to spawn Oliver. Everything was Gucci until they clipped through a pothole in traffic. Oliver really said, "I'm out, chat," and no-clipped into the back rooms forever. Maria is still in her "it's all my fault" era after Oliver's sudden de-manifestation. While she was busy manifesting sadness, Michael really decided to air out the room with a curry-scented biohazard. Maria went full goblin mode and started swinging, but Michael just grabbed her for a cuddle while the gas was still loading. Maria couldn't handle the 4K smell and her system crashed. Absolute cinema. Next day, a wild Peaky appeared. She's a servant main, but her real skill tree is backroom secrets. She's got all the map exploits and knows exactly where the bodies are buried in the textures. She's basically a walking wiki for all the forbidden household drama. Silence hung over the table, thicker than the curry fart that nearly ended Maria's subscription to life. She sat there mourning her lost brain cells while Michael, the local antic scam artist, refused to acknowledge his stinky sins. No apology, just vibes, and the lingering scent of domestic decay. Maria was mourning her social credit score because the world knows she let her son clip into the void. Michael, the narcissistic colonizer, told her to stop the self-hatred, despite knowing she's the reason the kid is a ghost. He tried to kiss the sadness away, but her breath smelled like a liquid funeral. He told her to go to the shop and buy some toothpaste, and left to sell Temutir antiques as authentic Indian vibe to unsuspecting tourists. Maria hit a massive crash out. Michael's nose has zero Riz because he thought she was a drunk, but she was actually just inhaling that paint thinner pack. She's having those deep-fried thoughts about how moving in with a colonial scammer was a major L. Mikhail returned to his crumbling kingdom and called for his wife, only for the ghost in residence, Peaky, to jump scare him. She then dropped the tea. Maria is officially in her bed rot era, because the flashbacks to being cancelled by the chat were giving her major I can't even energy. She's currently soft launching a mental breakdown in the master bedroom. Michael walked into the room and saw Maria bed rotting like a literal log. He saw the TV was on and panicked about the electric bill. He went to shut it off, but saw a video of Oliver playing a piano that Michael stole from a church. For a brief moment, the guilt flickered in his dead eyes, then he turned off the screen, because grief is free, but the electric bill isn't. Michael turned to leave, but the scent of artificial spring flowers stopped him. Turns out, Maria has been consuming detergent to overclock her brain. She's literally using household consumables as illegal power-ups to escape the server. In end, he had to take her to the hospital for a wash. The doctor told Michael to stop the cap and quit the "I can fix her" Grind. She said Maria's mental riz is officially in the negatives after she crashed the whip and sent their son to the back rooms. She's too far gone in the Ohio sauce, and her brain is basically a corrupted file. Maria opened her eyes, hoping for the sweet release of death, but only found Peaky watching her from the gloom. Peaky was just there, soaking in the sight of Maria's soul, slowly dissolving like a laundry pod in hot water. In the dark, Peaky's eyes said what she couldn't say out loud.
I'm just here for you, my love.
Peaky looked Maria in the eyes and said, "Drop the act, why are you doing all this beta-level brain rot?" Maria, confusing her medical crisis for a cozy girls' night, confessed her soul is tired. She told Peaky she's tired of having zero aura and needs to prove to the chat that her innocence is 100% real. Peaky fell for Maria's mid-tier trauma and decided to be her level 10 Gaiat savior. She leaned in for a legendary French kiss to recharge Maria's health bar. Then, she dropped the lore. There's a place called Second Ohio where the simulation is glitching. If Maria goes there and does a goofy livestream for a solid hour, she can tear a hole in reality and open the back door to find Oliver. Maria was lost in the sauce, so Peaky reapplied her lipstick and went for the round 2 kiss to max out her charisma stats. She told Maria, "Start a TikTok live in Second Ohio. Your son is gonna spawn and knock on the back door, but don't let him in. You gotta mog him in front of the chat, force him to leak the truth. The car crash wasn't your skill issue, it was the 999 plus AQI smog that griefed the whip." Suddenly, Mikhail emerged. Peaky, seeing him, vanished into the shadows. He was immediately struck by a scent that didn't belong in a hospital, the smell of the deep sea. He hugged Maria, and the smell went 4K. In his infinite wisdom, he decided she must be hiding raw fish under her pillow. Maria respawned at the circuit house and started her main quest to clear her rep. She asked for the map to Second Ohio, but Peaky, the opportunistic shadow dweller, demanded one more taste of Maria's detergent-flavored lips. But Maria hit her with the no-cap clause. She told Peaky she's not handing out any more Riz points until she leaks the actual coordinates. Peaky finished the info dump and gave Maria the platform requirements for the second Ohio raid. Whatever you do, don't stream on X. That site has 0 spiritual Riz. She explained that Second Ohio only supports TikTok Live because the backdoor vibes are literally built on short-form brain rot. If she goes live on X, the connection will lag, and she'll never beat the bad mother allegations. Maria and Peaky went into a full montage grind to gather legendary items for the quest. First, they secured the dead hand of Oliver's corpse, major 1000 plus aura item. Then, they hit up a Mexican yogi for that Colombian snow to max out the energy. Lastly, they grabbed the stuffed toy for the emotional support buff. The inventory is officially stacked. Maria is ready to no-clip into the back door and mog the haters. Maria spawned into Bahar, the spiritual successor to Ohio. The aura here is minus 9,999, and the textures are glitching in 4K. She's at the most haunted spawn point in India, ready to set up her TikTok ring light and start the ultimate goon session. If she can survive the Bahar brain rot, she can survive anything. Maria hopped in a sussy truck with 0 Riz and headed into the unknown. She trekked through a freaky forest, collected some legendary Ohio rocks for the ultimate power-up, and finally reached the world border. She's standing at the second door to the back rooms, the literal edge of the simulation. Maria locked in and set up her tripods and Gone Pro cameras for the ultimate TikTok confession. Then came the massive lore drop. She didn't just bring the dead hand, she grinded it into a fine Grimesh shake powder. She's out here using Oliver dust as summoning fuel to max out her spiritual signal. With the precision of a woman who has nothing left but a data plan, Maria sprinkled the dust of her child across the cold stairs. She shut the doors, silencing the world of the living. Now, it's just her, the silence of Bahar, and a pile of ash that used to play the piano. The stage is set for a confession that even God would probably skip. Maria sat down and fired up the bootleg streaming software, begging the chat to drop a W if the connection wasn't mid. She started her innocence arc, but the 69 viewers immediately hit her with the L aura. Since she has 0 mods, she's getting cooked in real time while trying to open a portal. Suddenly, the door got hit with a legendary knock. It was RIP Oliver calling out in a mega sussy voice that sounded like it was coming from the back room's server. She grabbed her Gone Pro like a true influencer and ran for the door to get the content. She's out here trying to film a reuniting with my RIP son vlog in 4K while the chat is still spamming L's. With the camera shaking in her hand, Maria played the role of a legitimate researcher, tossing goofy questions into the wood of the door. The 69 digital witnesses weren't impressed, labeling her grief scripted and low energy. Driven by a desperate need for validation, Maria decided to give them a real show. Provoked by the digital jeers of 69 strangers, Maria abandoned caution and opened the door to the back room. She stepped out to prove her innocence to a world that doesn't care, only to find the ultimate irony. The void wasn't filled with her son, but with IShowSpeed shouting into a camera. Mistaking the frantic energy of a content creator for a vengeful spirit, she fled back into the darkness. Confused, Maria looked into her phone, only to find out that the sussy software hit her with the ultimate betrayal. It mismatched the stream to X, breaking Peaky's only rule and nuking her spiritual Riz. Then the chat gaslit her into oblivion, claiming they saw zero speed, just Maria Schizo running in the dark. With minus 10,000 aura and 0 followers left, Maria finally hit the crash out button. She looked at the camera and said, "Fuck the chat. Fuck the lore. I'm done." A day of silence followed Maria's descent, but the house had a new master. Lucy, playing a cruel game of queen and slave, was interrupted by a scratching sound from the attic. Compelled by the stupid bravery found only in horror movie victims, she went upstairs. There, sitting in the shadows, was the stuffed toy Maria used in her ritual. It wasn't just a toy anymore, it possessed a gaze that mocked her existence. Lucy, being a total greedmaxer, saw the Muggin furry toy and didn't even flinch. She realized a possessed plushie with that much aura was worth at least 1,000,000 Robux. She snatched the toy up, hitting a legendary loot steal, and sprinted away like she just found a rare item in a simulator. Maria returned, her lungs still burning with the residual ash of Bahar. Peaky waited in the shadows like a hungry ghost, expecting her reward. But when Mikhail and the girl who stole a dead boy's toy walked in, Maria's broken mind snapped in a new direction. She smothered Lucy with kisses, not out of love, but out of a desperate, terrifying need to feel human again. Peaky watched, discarded and hollow, as her prize was given to a thief. Mikhail stood there, a man built of dust and denial, wondering if his wife had found comfort in the arms of a carbonated beverage. Maria, her hands still smelling of the Bahar void, lied to his face with the practiced ease of a serial killer. She assured him she was faithful, a good wife in a house of horrors. Mikhail, too tired to dig for the truth that would surely destroy him, chose the warm embrace of a lie. They hugged over the grave of their shared reality. That night, Maria and Mikhail were in a private 1v1 session when a third player joined the lobby, the family dog. The dog was spectating the whole match and was shocked Mikhail lasted longer than a 120-second cooldown. However, the dog started flaming Mikhail's performance in the global chat, claiming he has a better sniff build and could carry the match if Maria gave him the invite. Maria hit the dog with a kick from lobby ban after his dirty remarks nuked her mood, but the dog wasn't about to take that L. He sat on the hallway floor and started spamming hood slurs with 1,000 plus toxicity aura. He was literally outside the door yapping about his alpha plans, and what he'd do if he got a chance to main Maria's character. Maria finished her beauty sleep maxing and followed a legendary melody through the house. She thought she was getting a peaceful morning, but she got double mogged by greedy Lucy and the ghost of Oliver. Oliver really hit the piano emote and started playing a banger anime opening just to flex his spiritual aura. The price of a TikTok confession is finally being paid in full. Oliver's soul, cold and hollowed out by the second Ohio void, found its way back, only to find its original shell had been ground into a grime mesh shake. He did the only thing a desperate spirit could do. He crawled into the plush toy. Now, Maria is forced to face the monster she created, a stuffed animal with the voice of her dead son, demanding the love she never gave him while he was alive. That night when Mikhail returned stealing from foreigners, Maria came and hugged him. He mistook her desperation for help for an appreciation for his performance on the bed. He confessed that he actually able to do this good because he took med. Maria realized she was truly alone. She slapped the man who was supposed to protect her and walked into the shadows. She didn't tell him about the ghost in the plushie, a man who worries about his own smallness, while his son's soul roams the halls is already dead inside. After all this cause, Maria was sleep maxing when the Oliver plushie hit her with the judgmental cancel look for her racist snoring. To punish her lack of riz, the furry summoned grandmother from the backroom server to hit Maria with a legendary jump scare. Maria woke up screaming, but realized it was just a mid-tier nightmare. Her brain is literally cooked. She's dreaming in 4K brain rot now. Mikhail woke up and hit Maria with the most mid question of all time. He really asked if she was shook by his cryptic farts. He's out here thinking his stomach gas has enough riz to cause a nightmare. Not him calling his farts cryptic like they have deep lore. Maria is fighting demons and Mikhail is just out here being a biological hazard. Peaky's love is a cancer that finally metastasized. Her resentment toward Maria became so potent that the world around her simply gave up. The flowers withered into ash, dead Lamo. The vibrant jungle that once hid their secrets turned into a skeletal graveyard. Even the fish floated to the surface, eyes staring blankly at a woman whose heart is a black hole. In Bahar, love doesn't make things grow. It ensures they never breathe again. Peaky hit the run animation, but Maria and Lucy were already camp blocking the exit. They're questioning if Peaky's sussy vibes are the reason the whole mini jungle hit the dead Lamo button. Maria's out here blaming Peaky's love for the ecological collapse, while the furry toy is gooning in the background. Peaky tried to expose the truth, claiming a backdoor entity was the one nuking the garden's aura. Maria froze like a glitched NPC because she knew it was actually Oliver's ghost mod. When Peaky asked for the tea, Maria hit the deny button with 100% cap. To stop Peaky from yapping and lowering the house's social credit, Maria initiated a legendary kiss to silence her. Maria stepped outside to breathe in that premium 4K stale air, trying to recover her mental health. Suddenly, IShowSpeed spawned right in front of her. He wasn't even barking this time, he was terrified. He grabbed her and asked if she was seeing the same second Ohio glitches. Maria, not wanting any part of his low aura energy, hit the yeet button and pushed him into the river. Maria decided to end the haunting stream for good. She walked into the room and told Oliver Plushie he's officially banned from the lobby. She said she only needed the confession buff to prove she didn't team kill him, and now that her aura is restored, she wants his ghost ass to log out. Oliver's aura hit the negatives after Maria's cruel rejection. He decided to go full admin abuse on the house. First, he hit the delete button on his own furry toy vessel. Absolute waste of a rare skin. Then, he started moving furniture like he was playing prop hunt in second Ohio. Finally, he hit the piano with a max volume blast that probably woke up the entire Bahar server. Nothing scares a woman who has already ground her child into dust. Maria laughed at the ghost's tantrum, mocking the pathetic remains of his fury, but then she heard a knock on the server door and saw IShowSpeed standing there in the toxic rain of Bahar with 1,000-yard stare. He's standing there looking like a cinematic protagonist. Maria is confused why he's following her. Maria hit the crash out button and called Speed a monkey, threatening him with the animal control ban hammer. Speed didn't even flinch, he just pointed his finger like a legendary NPC. Maria turned around and saw the backroom's grandmother trying to get sussy with her, but before the entity could touch Maria, Speed pulled out his N card and used the ultimate verbal riz to delete her from the server. Maria is left standing in the rain, soaked and wondering if her life is just a glitched Subway Surfers mod. Maria got inside the house where Peaky was waiting at the door with the leak stream receipts. Maria tried to gaslight her, saying it was just a fake AI-generated video. Peaky grabbed her and said, "No cap, you can't outrun the lore." She told Maria the only way to fix the server was to offer her gyat to the backroom's gods as a sacrifice. Maria really said, "Fuck you," and did the legendary sprint to her room. She's not ready to pay the tax to the Ohio gods yet. Maria entered the room and heard greedy Lucy making some sussy baka noises. Total L aura behavior. Maria went to shut her up, but then the real Lucy walked out of the bathroom in 4K. Maria's brain hit a 404 error when she realized the first Lucy was actually Oliver, using a shape-shifting mod to mog his own sister. The ghost son really said skill issue, and transformed into her daughter just to troll his mom. Maria decided to finally drop the lore and give Mikhail a chance to fix his low aura behavior. She tried to explain the Oliver ghost glitch, but Mikhail was too busy flex maxing. He just scammed 3 Americans by selling them fake Mughal queen feet pics. Absolute legendary riz. He's so lost in the scam sauce that he didn't hear a word about the backroom. He really said, "Cool story, let's go celebrate my big W, tell me on the way." Mikhail's success led them to a gutter-side altar of filth. In this place, hygiene isn't just a bedtime story, it's an extinct language. Maria watched as the swarm emerged, the cockroaches, the true owners of the establishment, only to see the patrons devouring them with a hunger that surpassed human reason. It was a vision of the end time, a world that eats its own rot and calls it a feast. Maria fled, realizing that the backrooms were actually more sanitary than Mikhail's taste in dining. Maria hit the backdoor escape to avoid the -5-star roach maxing menu, but got lost in the alleyway. She's now lost in a maze of 4K shadows and sussy noises. Maria is wandering the alleyway with negative riz after her backdoor escape. The local Bahar squad surrounded her, and the vibes are absolutely rancid. They're looking at her like a sussy foreigner who just fell out of a white savior mod. They're disgusted, thinking she's about to drop a mid-tier TikTok with a poor India filter just to farm views from the internet. They literally caught her in 4K without a tourist guide. Suddenly, Maria heard Michael's voice, so she followed it, thinking she found the home button, but she got catfished by Oliver's ghost again. He transformed into a decrepit old lady and did a malunited body dance before hitting her with a max volume jump scare, but then the map refreshed, and it was all a hallucination debuff. Mikhail and Lucy were just standing there. Mikhail said he lost his way to the pet shop where he parked Lucy. Maria said, "Next time, put a leash and a sign on her, then maybe the restaurant will allow her in." Peaky has officially entered her villain-maxing era. She realized her love for Maria was a total L trade, and decided to strip the house of its memories, one used item at a time. She isn't taking the gold or the jewels, she's taking the history. She's packaging their lives into plastic bags, ready to sell the foreigner mystique to the highest bidder in the dark alleys of Bihar. Peaky's greed led her to the heart of Michaeli's lies, the fake antique. But she forgot that in this house, even the animals have dark histories. The family dog, a fallen wizard bound by an ancient debt, saw Peaky's betrayal. He didn't tear her throat, he tore her soul from the simulation, he gooned her into non-existence, forcing her spirit to log off from the realm of the living. Peaky didn't get the loot, she became the latest ghost in the Bihar smog. She up to the base and saw all their loot dumped in the courtyard. Maria followed the trail of sussy sandals to the pea pond, only to find Peaky had officially logged off in the water. She's literally hit the spectator mode permanently. But Mikhail, absolute legend, he said Peaky is giving 4K statue energy, and decided to keep her there as a living art showpiece. He's out here turning a tragedy into a Bihar museum installation. Life after Peaky is hitting like a hardcore mode survival server. The med/servant XP is gone, and Maria is struggling to maintain her aura. But the wizard dog is having a success celebration. He's out here flex maxing because he did the work and offed the intruder. He's properly enjoying his 1v1 victory. Maria said, "I'm not donating my gyat to any Ohio gods, no cap." She decided to hit Oliver with a manual wipe. She gathered all his rare loot and belongings and started a giant bonfire in the courtyard. She's literally trying to clear the cache by burning his things. She thinks if the physical textures are gone, his spirit will get a connection timed out error and despawn. Oliver's deformed ghost spawned behind Maria with infinite rage because she was griefing the environment with that bonfire. He decided to hit her with a legendary lesson mod. Maria suddenly heard Lucy's voice. She followed, but only found the wizard dog, who was completely blackout drunk and throwing toxic insults at her. Lucy was gone. Maria started roaming the map like a total beta, only to find Lucy swinging on the courtyard like her brain was lagging. When Maria asked if she was slow, Lucy literally hit her with the maybe both mommy response. Maria pulling slow Lucy back to the lobby just as Mikhail spawned in. Lucy went for a hug and started doing a narrator speedrun, leaking all the plot twists to him in 4K. When Mikhail heard about the bonfire, his balls hit a critical shrinkage level and he sprinted to the courtyard. He's absolutely tilted. He wasn't mad that Maria was burning memories, he was mad she was burning profit. He wanted to resell Oliver's loot as rare British child artifacts on the black market for maximum aura credits. Maria tried to hold her ground, saying she was just doing an exorcism speedrun and that Mikhail's antique scams were going to get them banned by the police NPCs. But Lucy hit her with the ultimate actually Riz. She explained that since Oliver was technically a British emperor, delusional lore, and he's permanently logged off, his loot is public domain. Maria realized in 4K that it was Oliver possessing Lucy. The ghost is literally ghostwriting her dialogue. Mikhail didn't even notice the sussy possession. He just joined the party and started scam planning with his daughter. Mikhail tucked Lucy into the scam bed, telling her they'd brainstorm some scamming tactics in the morning. Mariah burst in with the lore drop, screaming that Lucy is literally possessed by Oliver's ghost. Mikhail hit her with the L mother look and told her to stop ruining the father-daughter bonding vibes. He's totally blinded by the con artist Riz's Lucy is showing. He really wants to train her to be the #1 scammer in Bihar. Maria forced a character inspection on Lucy and found the Oliver Soul virus at 100% completion. The entity looked her in the eyes and flamed Michael for being a boosted player who can't read the map. Oliver confirmed he's preparing to force teleport Lucy to the Backrooms Bihar server forever. He's basically griefing the family from the inside out while Mikhail is AFK in his own greed. Maria is trying to Alt F4 the situation, but Oliver has admin privileges now. Maria refused to take an L from a ghost noob like Oliver. She tried to hit the possessed Lucy with a tactical smack, but Mikhail intervened with a max strength push. He really hit Maria with the "you're delusional" report and boxed her in her own room. He told her she needed professional help, while he walked off with the Oliver virus. Mikhail realized Maria's edging streak was broken, and she was about to go nuclear mode on his fraud empire. He tried to hit the tactical exit, but the house got hit with a total blackout. 0 lights, 0 aura, 0 hope. He yanked open the front door to escape, but he got sevenfold spawn camped by a pack of IShowSpeed. It's not just one bark, it's a 4K choir of speed rizzes blocking the driveway. Mikhail is literally trapped between an arsonist wife and a multiverse of barking streamers. Mikhail saw 7 speeds pointing at him in 4K and immediately thought the scam police had arrived to seize his fake Mughal artifacts. He hit the panic toggle and slammed the door like his life depended on it. Realizing he was outmogged, he decided to summon a higher level player. He called his boss on speed dial, screaming into the phone that the scam was compromised and he needed an immediate backup squad to clear the front porch. The ex-wizard in the dog's skin finally spoke, his voice a gravelly echo of ancient power. For his final act, he confronted the shadow. "What's up, little man?" he barked, stripping away the illusion of the child. He looked through the girl's eyes and saw the hollow spirit of the brother, declaring that this wasn't the greedy Lucy who belonged in this house, but merely Oliver, a ghost with no soul and no presence. While the wizard dog was busy mogging Oliver, Mikhail was on the phone with the CEO of fraud. The boss tried to suggest bananas to calm the speeds down, and Mikhail was like, actually, bestie, you're wrong. He told him that speeds only stand fried chicken, and a banana is literally an L trade. Mikhail is really out here trying to optimize the fast food strategy to save his scam empire. Oliver and Lucy was done with the dog's best, used the Miss Knife aesthetic to cancel the wizard dog's, they say, existence. Mikhail heard a weird sussy cry. He rushed in like a try-hard alpha and saw the dog had left the chat permanently. Lucy tried to gaslight him by saying the wizard dog was being problematic and cursing, but Mikhail finally had a brain cell moment. How did she know he was a wizard? It was so sussy. Before he could debunk her, Lucy unsubscribed him with Miss Knife. As Mikhail was logging off for good, he asked who she was. Her reply was the ultimate T. Your mistake with your secretary. Maria really said, "I'm out," and used her girl boss energy to literally break the door down. But then things got so weird. She found all 7 IShowSpeeds inside the house doing a literal ritual around Lucy. Maria tried to stop the cursed vibe, but one of the speeds literally blew all-purpose flour on her face, but she mistook it for cocaine colombiana and fall down. The hit was so hard that Maria got knocked out in 4K. The final big reveal just hit the screen in 1080p. The 7 speeds from different multiverses didn't come to bark. They were summoned to fix the massive skill issue Maria caused in the second Ohio server. They started a high aura extraction process to pull Oliver out of Lucy's body. Oliver has been living rent-free in Lucy's character model for way too long, and the speeds are officially the landlords of reality. The IShowSpeed multiverse was about to finish the extraction, but Mikhail, who was somehow still connected to the server, intervened and stalled them. This gave Maria enough time to realize the cocaine was actually just all-purpose flour. She used her meta connection to link with Oliver and finally confessed to being an L mother. She accepted her punishment and took the L for all her crime. Oliver actually felt her true aura for once. He despawned from Lucy and possessed Maria's body to check if her truth stats were real or just a cap. Mikhail watched with shock face because he definitely didn't sign up for this lore drop. We finally hit the good ending for Oliver. He felt Maria's honesty and decided to log off from the world forever, finally finding peace. But Maria's journey was far from over. The second Ohio Bahar server literally said, "Hold my beer." Because no crime goes unpunished, Maria got shadow banned to a white room for her soul. She has to stay there and think about her L mother choices with 0 distraction. Oof, what a ride it was. To be honest, if Maria let the IShowSpeed do their job, she could have lived a peaceful life in the end. What do you think? Do tell me down in the comments. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you like my work, then please subscribe and like. Until then, stay safe and be sussy.